I think I'm live. Oh crap. I am live streaming from my GoPro right now. Testing this out with my Wi-Fi network I have created inside of my van. So we'll see how good it is. I can't even, I'm bringing up the chat right now on my phone. It's kind of cool to actually be able to use my phone while I live stream. Usually can't do that because it's live streaming for me. But really I'm here to smoke some roaches with y'all because that's all I got. So I got them bugs. I got them bugs right here. And you know what? There's actually like, it's starting, I don't know if you can see them, but there's flies in here. Like I'm out in the desert and like I just can't escape how many flies there are. This is getting, it's really overwhelming. In my tent, which is behind me, I don't know if you can see it, but the hatch is down right now. I have like one of those fly strips down and they just fly around it. Like I've gotten a couple on there, but with how many flies there are, like they don't, there's supposed to be some like attractant on those fly strips. But really all I'm doing is dodging it when I walk through the tent, trying not to get it in my hair because it's all sticky and shit. So intellectual, how y'all doing? Got 10 people in the live stream. Don't forget to smash that like button. I like likes. Likes are cool. But really, I'm just here for the lols. So let's create some. Gotta grab my, this is my weed stuff. I've got it all in here. Except for the roaches. They're in a different spot. But I got my pizipe. I would roll a joint right now, but I ain't got no flour. I actually probably could roll these into joints. These roaches I've got. And if anyone is like me, I hate roaches, dude. Roaches need to go away. So let's light them on fire slowly. I guess not all my weed stuff is in here because I have a jar with roaches in it somewhere. Oh, here it is. Yay. There's all my smoke. It's everything I got, you guys. It's everything I got. And we're gonna load it into a pipe together. Oh yeah, smells like pour. Smells like pour. I am out here in Oregon still camping alone. Dave and AJ took off. They went north and then AJ had to go east. Dave is headed towards probably the Olympics or something like that. He was in Oregon for a minute. Let me go ahead and plug in the camera. Since it actually took me a minute to get this working, this live stream working on the GoPro. But we got it going. We got it going. We did it. We done good there, Cletus. Hell yeah. So, I need to get a pokey out of here too. Zag is sitting here next to me for anyone wondering how she is doing. She's doing absolutely wonderful. Gotta clear out the old stuff in this pipe. It's been in there a minute. I don't usually use my pipe. Usually it's like a backup for when I'm out of smoke and I've got to do this. And I could roll it, you know, I do prefer joints. Personally, joints I prefer over pipes, but, you know, like everything gets clogged up in here and full of resin and it doesn't taste as good as paper, like after a while. Brand new pipe, sure. Yeah, brand new pipe's fine. But once it's been smoked out of quite a bit, like mine have, it just ends up being really resonated, you know, not too much of a complaint, just a preference, you know. Prefer papers, cleaner. But today, since I'm out of smoke, y'all know how it is. We're lighting bugs on fire. And by bugs, I mean roaches. Roaches do suck butt. Who said that? I got my camera, or my phone right here. Right guy, what's up, man? I'm doing well. Thanks for that. I appreciate it. Small town reviews. Bro, roaches suck butt. Yes, they do. If anyone wants to donate to the cannabis fund gas fund, food fund. It's really all my money will be going to is gas, food, weed. My links are in the description of this video. What's going on, Heath and Bobby? How y'all doing? Good to see you guys. Hope you're feeling alright today, man. Intellectual Curiosity says, just sitting in my van putting reflectix up. Yeah, I've got a little bit of reflectix on the sides, and I got a piece for the back, but I do need more. I got some more windows to cover up. Lifted fire restrictions. Yes, I did see that. The area that we were camping that we got evacuated from, if you guys remember, last week, we all got evacuated from the forest. Finally, they got those fires under control, and they have lifted all evacuation places. So I could go back up there. I probably will at some point. Right now, I don't know if I could fucking make it with the gas I have, to be honest with you. Like, really, I don't think I'd be able to make it all the way up there. I don't even know that. Before I'm just like stuck here until payday. Which every month it seems like payday gets farther and farther away, but every month it's the same distance away. But the price of everything up and up and up. Like that money I've been surviving off of for the last 10 years just isn't cutting it like it used to, man. Like, I know we're all feeling the squeeze, especially food, man. Food is killing me. Oh no. Yay. Food is killing me. It's expensive. So yeah, I'm feeling that squeeze too, just like everyone else is. Roaches are second gen joints. I would roll a joint, but I'm tired of roaches, Small Town says. I get that. I feel that. Roaches are like my backup. Like, whenever I run out of weed, I've always got some roaches laying around. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I need a lighter, and I don't know where my lighter is. But I do have this lighter Dave gave me. It's on a lighter leash. The lighter that Dave gave me on a lighter leash that Chuck gave me. And I think this lighter is appropriate, don't you? Yeah. I'll do a. I'm burning bugs on. Need it. No, you know, there's vault toilets at that last place. There's none of that here. There's dumpsters at that last place, and there's none of that here. So both of those things would be pretty useful to me right now. But the one thing I do like about this spot over the other spot is there's more sun. Like the trees aren't, you know, right over top of me. Just to give you an idea, like, I am out here in the desert. Let's see. Catch up on comments right here. No, like, I got real roaches, and I don't want to see any roach, not a real one or a weed one. Yeah, having roaches sucks. It's definitely like more of an East Coast thing where there's more moisture in the air. We don't have a whole lot of roaches in Central Oregon, except these. So, you know, P. Diddy needs a roach. P. Diddy needs a fucking straight up ass beating. Hate to say it, but Diddy been diddling the wrong doodlers, and now they told on him, and he's going to prison. Like, Diddy's done. Diddy done, boy. Show him Puffy Combs. What's up, Heather? Hey, hope y'all are doing well. Smoking 2 here. What are you burning on, Heather? Let me know. Right, guy. Cheers to all. And you guys, you can always hit me up on Facebook also. Like, for those of you who have, like, a lot of you know, you've hit me up on Facebook. You're following me on Facebook. My name on Facebook is Zig Sehorn. Z-I-G Sehorn. No A in Sehorn. It's S-E-H-O-R-N. S-E-H-O-R-N. So you can see the horn. Rostabilly, what it do? What it do? What's up, man? Welcome to the live stream. I just had to open up some old joints, put them in here, and we're making them a new bowl. Hang on, let me send this text real quick. Yeah. Mischief, Equinox Fest in the Redmond Fairgrounds this weekend. That's cool. Like, it'd be cool to go to it too, but, you know, I don't even have money for gas, bro. Or weed. Or food. I can't go to no festival. Not unless I'm getting paid, which I'm not getting paid for the Equinox Festival. I didn't even see a job posting for it in all the festival pages. Maybe I just missed it. I did see one for the last festival Bend had. Heather says, stuff for my guy that he gets it in Colorado. I don't know the name, but it's good stuff. Yeah, that's what happens when you're on the free market, don't you? Like, free market being the black market, but I like calling it the free market. But you don't always know what you're gonna get. You don't know what strain it is, you don't know the levels of it. And that's where a lot of us came from back in the day, before they legalized. But they've legalized now, and so, not everywhere, but in a lot of places. But those of you still struggling in states where prohibition's still going on, I feel your pain. You don't even know what you got. Might be an indica, maybe not. That might be a sativa. You have no idea. But that's how it be, man. That's how we all got introduced to weed, but we know a lot more about it now. Heather says, you'll add me on Facebook. Cool. Yeah, you totally can. Anyone's welcome to hit me up on Facebook. I also chat with you guys too. Like, if you want to actually hit me up, get to know me, let me know, like, why you're hitting me up. Hey, watch you on YouTube. Just wanted to chat. That's cool. Sometimes it getting. Everyone say hi to Alicia. We're going to be seeing each other real soon this winter. She's going to be coming out. Mischief says Angie is back in Slabs. Yes, she is. I did see that. I saw that she returned to Slabs, which I kind of figured she would eventually. But she looks like she's doing all right. Hello, Zig and Zag in chat. Got you on blazing some mystery smoke now. What a coincidence. Yeah, this is just mystery smoke for me too, man. It was rolled up in little tiny little bugs, but now we ripped them up. And I'll be honest with you, like, about Slabs and Angie going back to Slabs. Like I said, we all knew that she would, or at least I suspected she would. Most people don't make it out. Once you've been there a while, like, you don't make it out the first time you leave. You really don't. You end up going back at some point. And it's because, like, a lot of reasons. There's community there, which is huge. Like, we all need a community. We all crave a community. We all need that. We are social creatures, and community is, like, really good for your mental health. It's like a survival instinct, so we know it. We need that. And you can find that there. But also, like, being poor in Slabs is okay. Like, you're not judged based on, hey, nobody goes up to you and like, what do you do? What do you do? What do you, like, that is not a question that we use to define ourselves. It's like what we do for our work. Like, that's not how Slabbers define themselves. The world. So, culture is so different, and I think since being poor is socially acceptable, like, it's so much easier to be poor there without all the stigma and bullshit from neighbors or people that you see. Like, people see me in the van, and a lot of times they just get, just snub the nose, man. They just snub the nose. And you don't get that as much in Slabs. In fact, in Slabs, sometimes when they see you in the van, they're like, oh, so you're like upper middle class. Gotcha. So I can understand why she went back. Here, I'll just type my Facebook name. My link tree is also in the description of this video, which you can get all my links there. But I'll put my name in the comments. There you go. There you go. Soup for my family. There's one of my admins. Where's my god dog? She's right next to me. I don't know if you can see her, but she's just laying here. Aren't you good girl? Aren't you good girl? She's just chilling on this mess of blankets, this pile of blankets I have on the bed right now. I'm Pooh. I can't afford the R for poor. That's funny. Captain Jack and Pete made it out. Well, Pete kind of got scared out, and Jack, I mean, I don't know why when he left. I don't know what's going on with him. Eventually, he probably just got kind of sick of all the, like, I know everyone liked him on YouTube, but not everyone liked him in person. So, you know, he may not have gotten ran out, but Peter definitely got scared out. Oh, you're sitting sideways. No, actually, I am sitting forward. Like, my driver's seat is up ahead, passenger seat. That's my back door. And this is a back seat that I have in the van. You forgot you're an admin. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, you're moderator. This ain't no Facebook group. You ain't no admin. What's my lows? What's your lows? I don't know what that means. Hey, Greg Hines. Welcome, dude. Legend in the flesh, Greg Hines, you guys. Any nomads out there, you've probably met him at some point. How are you doing, buddy? I swear, Greg, you're like friends with every single nomad that I know. And if you're not yet, you're gonna be in the next couple of months, right? Like any nomads I know that haven't met you yet, you're probably gonna figure out a way to like, you're probably like, you know, like 2 people away from knowing everybody in the world. Gotta go. You'll message me. Hell yeah, Rostabilly. I'll talk to you then, man. And for anyone else who, you know, hits me up on Facebook, like, I actually do chat with you guys. For anyone that wants to get to know me a little bit better, man, I'll respond to kind, polite messages. Oh, you're in New Mexico? Are you still in, like, Taos, Tres Piedras, Cuesta area? Oh, Mischief was asking what are my lows for temperatures. Right here, I would guess, like, mid-40s right now. And I think by a month from now, it'll be below freezing. So, come the 1st, I have a lot to do. All right, I have to get the van registered in my name because currently it's not registered in my name. I bought it, I haven't registered it yet. Even my tags are expired right now, so every time I drive, I'm kind of risking quite a bit. So I need to get that done. I need to get the registration done. And my van still shakes when I drive, and I kind of think that shake is getting a little worse. So I need to get more tires. I need to get 2 more tires for the front. And then I'll have all new tires all the way around. And I suspect, I hope, I pray that that shake will go away, because that thing's been there since I bought the van. I mean, I am like basically rebuilding this van. When I got it, it was in terrible condition. And I've spent a lot of money trying to get it in better shape, but it's still not done yet. I've spent probably $2,500 getting this van going with brakes. The whole front end is brand new. The suspension, everything on the front end is brand new. And even motor mount. I did the transmission motor mount. And I did the front brakes and the gas tank and a new fuel pump. And the gas tank needs to be replaced now. It just kind of got jerry-rigged when we fixed it last time, but I'm pretty sure it needs to be replaced now. And then I have to drive down south. Like, it's time to leave. Like, October, it's too cold in Oregon. I have seen it snow in this area. I have trick-or-treated with my daughter in snow before, so I would like to not be here for that. Check your U-joint. Yeah, I got brand new U-joints. The whole suspension on the front end is brand new. A couple months old, if that. Yeah, a couple months. So, better not be my U-joints. Alright. Damn it, all of a sudden you guys just blew up my comments. Let me catch up here. Oh, you're in Moriarty. Moriarty, that was Sherlock Holmes's mortal enemy right there, Moriarty. Intellectual curiosity. He does. I bug him on Facebook. He is high. I'm just almost always high. You know when you can catch me sober? Anyone who knows me knows this. You can catch me sober in the morning. Like, I don't wake and bake. Like, I drink my coffee first. If I wake up at 7, it's probably not until 10 before I'm smoking. You know, like, it's a few hours that I'm awake, and I can't just wake and bake, dude. Like, it makes me feel tired all day long. So that's when you can catch me sober, first thing in the morning, and for the first few hours, actually. Like, I just don't smoke weed. And, I mean, all my friends smoke around me, and I'm still able to be like, no thanks, I'm good. With some green-ass bud. Painting this weed black today. Heather says, not a nomad, but has a gypsy heart. Couldn't find you on Facebook. I'll look more. I'm on there. Zig Sehorn, I promise. Make sure you spelled it right. Get realigned too with the tires. Yes, for sure. So that's it. Like, I gotta get 2 tires, the alignment, the registration for my vehicle, insurance turned back on because I'm broke. No insurance. So don't tell anyone. But it is a huge risk every time I drive, so it'd be nice to be able to turn the insurance back on and get the vehicle registered so I don't risk, like, getting my home towed. It is a huge risk every time I drive, and it is very stressful, so I'm trying not to drive very often. Just as I can before I pass into town. Hell, we had snow here on Halloween before in Illinois. Yeah, for sure. Yellowstone, Colorado, and Sierras all had snow already, moving south soon. Arizona, I think. Yeah, I'll be spending some time in Arizona. Anyone who goes to Quartzsite in the winter, I will be helping run a booth in Quartzsite. So if you guys are gonna be in Quartzsite, all the times like I talk about going to vend, you'll be able to see the booth and see what we vend and meet me. You know, if that's something you want to do. If you're a nomad and you'd like to meet me, like, the booth would be a good spot to do that. Sorry, I gotta making all this noise because I gotta blow my nose. Yeah, I can breathe. Yeah. For what's a good ounce cost out this way? Well, I don't know how much a good ounce costs because I can't afford those. What I can tell you, Rye Guy, is that a cheap ounce, like on the bottom shelf stuff, is like $30 to $40 an ounce if you go to the right dispensary. If you go to the wrong dispensary, you know, like $70 to $100 an ounce. But you can find it for $30, $40 an ounce, you know, at the right dispensary here in town. The good weed is like maybe at the right dispensary, you're talking like $120, $150. You know what I mean? So Oregon has some, like, the cheapest weed in the country with some really, really close competition with Michigan. In fact, Michigan might actually be cheaper for some products like vape pens than Oregon is. I think Michigan might actually, their vape pens might be cheaper than Oregon, and their flour is about the same, which I tend to lean towards flour and pre-rolls. So yeah, Michigan, Oregon, cheapest weed in the country. Paid $50 an ounce for raspberry sativa, Mischief says. Soup for my family. I'll be in NorCal all next week. When I get back, let's hang out. Yeah, we could do that. Greg says, I'm surrounded by chicken. That sounds terrifying. Like, you're surrounded by ancient dinosaurs. Fart Sack says, coffee and cookies, my morning routine I use to post on Facebook, and people would be like, people would be like, cookies so early in the morning. Restaurant napkin. Yeah, it's from Schlotsky's Deli. That says Cinnabon because it's a Schlotsky's and a Cinnabon. I thought it said Schlotsky's, but I went to Schlotsky's today. I kind of spoiled myself. I do have food in my fridge, which I should have cooked, and I really shouldn't have spent the $15 on Schlotsky's, but I did, and it was delicious, and I have no regrets. If you guys don't know what Schlotsky's is, it's a chain that makes Subway look like dog food. Like, Schlotsky's is a sandwich chain that is fire. Probably the best sandwich chain I've ever found in the country. And there's a lot of sandwich chains out there, Jimmy John's and all that. Schlotsky's is fire, dude. They're so good. Actually, here, right there. Schlotsky's. No, this is not sponsored by Schlotsky's, but if you reach out to me, Schlotsky's, and you want to pay me some money, I'll post some more videos. Let's see. Bry Guy says, I'm from Michigan. I was just in the Upper Peninsula area. Actually, I went to, I forget which town Electric Forest was in, but I went to Electric Forest. I was working that festival, and then I went and explored the UP with Accidentally Alicia. I really like Michigan. I think the only thing I didn't like about Michigan is how much poison ivy there is, or poison oak, or whatever it is. It's everywhere. Like, it's everywhere. It was wild. I've never seen that much, like, of the forest just trying to, like, we're gonna make you itch. But, but it is beautiful up there for sure. Greg says, I get weed for $400 a pound. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can get weed for $400 a pound. I just have to make probably 1 or 2 phone calls and I could find weed for $400 a pound. I think last time, what was I paying for it? I don't remember. I think it was $500 actually, was how much I paid for the last pound I got. I just try not to drive around with like felonious amounts of weed. Fartsax says my 1.5 gram pen was 19 bucks. That's not too bad for a gram and a half. I miss vape pens, but love my flower. I do be liking flower. Like, even with access to everything. I have edibles, I have flower, pre-rolls, you know, fucking concentrates. You can find anything here. I still just lean towards flower. Flower is gonna be my go-to. I do be liking my vape pen when I drive though. Like, before I go on like 2-3 day drives, I like to buy a vape pen and have that for the drive. Just less of a chance of getting a Dewey, you know. Oregon new through dabs are dropping now. Oregon new through dab. Well, I don't know what that means. Got new dabs? New through dabs? I get outdoor grown 25 an ounce. That's pretty cheap. We should do a smoke sesh live when we hang out. Yeah, we could do that. I'd be down for a live smoke sesh with you. I'm like you, Zig. I prefer flower all day, but pens are nice when your bankroll is low. That's true. They just hit different. You know what I mean? Like, vape pens are like, it's like the cocaine of weed. Where like the high is real, like, there for a second and then it's just gone. It's just a real short high for me, you know? Like, it doesn't quite hit the same as flower does. Speaking of, Fart Sack says, great fucking Sammies. I assume you're talking about Schlotsky's, because they really are, man. If you guys ever get a chance. They're mainly a West Coast thing, and I think more so in the Southwest. Wish we had Skittles still. I think that's what you meant. 150 with tax, top 70, bottom plus tax. Oh, the top is 150, bottom shelf is 70 where you're at. That makes sense. That's actually like pretty typical prices right there, honestly. $150 for an ounce is fairly average, I think, for most of the country. Maybe even slightly below average. But that sounds like California prices right there. 15 to 20 a gram in North Dakota medical dispensary. Eighth is $60. A quarter is 120 bucks. Y'all need to be making friends in Michigan and Oregon that don't mind using USPS. I'm just saying. In California with free delivery, he says. That's crazy, Darren. Explains the black market. Yes, it does. That's why I said you gotta get some friends in Oregon. Alicia says Schlotzsky's is so fucking good. I took Alicia to Schlotzsky's when she was visiting me here in Bend. And it was like, where do you want to eat? Oh, I don't know. Where do you want to eat? Oh, I don't know. And then it popped in my head. I'm like, I know where we're going. It's been a while since I've been here. And I took her there and I described it to her and she seemed super hesitant, right? Like she seemed real hesitant at first about this chain sandwich restaurant, which Alicia really hates Subway. So that probably like all sandwich chains are bad, which is fair. Like most sandwich chains aren't that good. But I took her to this place, Schlotzsky's. It's even got a drive-through. Like, it ain't nothing special, but man, their menu is off the chain. They got good ingredients. They even got soups and stuff. Like, it's definitely worth it. And I think that when she tried it, she was like, wow, this is so good. Oh, Rothbury, Michigan. That's where Electric Forest is. RSO pins are $35 in California. Greg says I do flower. Yeah, me too. Darren says, diamonds if I do dabs. Do dabs. If I do them, I'll do some dabs. Mischief says, I like CBD edibles. I get that. CBD edibles, that's cool. I just feel like CBD is like diet weed. You know, it's like no duals. Which is fine. I know you get more benefits from CBD than you would no duals. Because you don't get any benefits from an O'Doul. But I call it diet weed. Good evening, Zig. Good evening, Zerg. I just got off. I just got the Z28 back. Z28. Is that car? Spicoli, is that how you're going to be nomading in a Z28? No, wait, that's a pickup, isn't it? I'm doing my best at being masculine and knowing what a Z28 is. It's either a car or a pickup. I can't do vape, dab, or edibles. Basically, any concentrates. It puts me in the hospital. That's crazy. Why does it put you in the hospital? Is it anxiety? Does it make you really paranoid and stuff? Because I do know, like, when I first got out of the army and I started smoking weed, I had no tolerance whatsoever. And even one hit of weed would just spin me the fuck out, dude. Like it's so intoxicating, and people don't really remember how intoxicating weed is when you don't have a tolerance for it, and sometimes that intoxication is very stressful, and it's like some panic built into it, just like when you do too much acid or something. So So yeah, don't be doing that stuff intellectual if it sends you to the hospital. Alicia says tree basing. Yeah, that's what we be calling it. Dabs, we call it tree basing. If anyone does enough drugs, they'll know what free basing is. And you basically are tree basing. Here in Florida, it's medical. You can get $20 eighths. Yeah, I wouldn't mind paying, let's see, it's like $160 an ounce. I mean, yeah, that's about right, I guess. I wouldn't hate $20 eighths. Subway, $18 for a foot long. Yeah, and I got this for $15 at Schlotzsky's. It was a pastrami Reuben on rye. They also give you a bag of chips and a soda. I eat coconut oil. I fuse. Oh, you fuse your weed into coconut oil? And then you eat that. I know somebody, not to name any names out here for the public, but I know a nomad who has cannabis peanut butter. then it's just in a jar of peanut butter. And anytime, you know, cops search, they just see the peanut butter and don't search any farther. They might, I mean, I would imagine a cop could like scoop around in there to see, because people will put stuff in peanut butter to hide it. But if he doesn't find anything in, like, hidden in the peanut butter, he wouldn't think that weed is actually the peanut butter. But that's how they be traveling. If you bought 8 eighths at $20, 106, yeah, that's what I did. That's how I did the math, dude. What does that say? 561. Oh, Choppa. What's up, dude? You changed your name. 561 Choppa City. If you bought 8 eighths at $20 a piece, that's $160 an ounce. High grade medical. Yeah, that's how I did the math. You said an eighth was 20 bucks, so I just did 2 times 8, which is 16. Gray body high goes with THC intake. Cannabinoid. Intellectual says cannabinoid hyperemesis syndrome. That sounds awful. You go to the hospital because of cannabinoid hyperemesis, like a nemesis, hypernemesis maybe? I don't know if you missed a syndrome. That's wild. Oh, it's a Camaro. A Z28 is a Camaro. See, told you that I'm doing my best at being masculine. I'm not a fucking car guy, dude. I'm really not. Like, we could talk computers all day long. We could talk networking all day long, but I mean, I'm not a mechanic. I just know enough mechanicking to like barely get by and kind of sound like I know what I'm talking about. Greg says he's on second joint. Shit, I'm still on my first bowl, man. I smoke bowls so slow. How's the solar? Might have missed that info. The solar's doing well. I need more panels. That's really where I'm at with it. I've got 2 100-watt panels on the roof, and I think I need 2 more. But I need them first, you know. They're just barely keeping my solar afloat, right? Like, I think I'm using as much as I'm putting into it every day. So I'm not putting in more every day. So it's hard to get it fully charged. But I've got a fridge that I gotta keep running, so. It doesn't take a lot of juice, though. It's like 50 watts. For about... So. Cyclical, intellectual says CHS and symptoms include cyclical vomiting, sweats, and for me, my my blood pressure goes into the 200s over 100s. That's wild. That's wild. Right Guy says super boof here is 50 bucks. You mentioned boof in your old video you really liked. I mean, super boof is alright. I usually just buy it because I like the name of it. I think it's a fucking absurd name. Super boof. If anyone doesn't know what boofing is, you might want... I'm not gonna tell you, but you could Google it. You wouldn't hate it. It's just a thing. And so, to think that some stoners decided to go name their strain super boof just always cracks me the fuck up. Heath and Bobby says, tried Jersey Mike's, it was awful. Yeah, Jersey Mike's is hit and miss, dude. Oh, Right Guy says, super boof here is 50 bucks an ounce. That's cool. That's pretty cheap. That's pretty good pricing. So, emesis means puking. Oh man, I've emesised before. Like, I've emesised. I did that. I have emesised on myself. I've emesised on Zag. Yep. Had some bad days. What's up, Jeffro? Greg says to get 2 250s, 250 watts. Yeah, I mean, get 250. It's I don't have a whole lot of money to be throwing around. Like, it's what's today? It's the 19th, and I know I'm not gonna make it until the end of the month. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna get there. I just gotta make it to the first. That's always my plan every month. Gotta make it to the first. Yeah, fun, isn't it? Emesis. Never heard that word before. They never talked about that on Dr. House. I'm just saying. I don't know if anybody else watches Dr. House, but I have seen that show so many times. Like, I could probably tell you what's wrong with the patient during the opening scene. Which I don't know if that's really a flex or not. I really don't think so. You can get them used for like $150 a piece. Oh, the panels. Yeah, that's true. $150 a piece, that's $300. That's almost half of my monthly income. Like, it would have to be one at a time, I guess. Spicoli, I love that pipe. Zig, sexy. Yeah, she purty. She got the flower built in there. This one actually was sitting in my friend's attic all winter long, and I came back into town and got it back just a couple of months ago, or a month ago or so, because I couldn't fly to it. And if you remember, I flew to LA last year, and I couldn't fly with my pipe, so yep, had to leave it behind. Thankfully, Chuck was waiting for me, and he gave me a pipe, a little, like, you know, one of those cheap, like, dispensary $10 pipes that I used all winter long. I used that pipe the entire winter. It's still around here somewhere. Heath and Bobby says, we binge watched all of House. Yeah, I have definitely binge watched House. Like, I fall asleep with the TV on, right? So, it basically gives my brain something to think about instead of everything else. So I leave it. Just, House became that show that I would just, I could pick playing and I don't have to actually see it. Like, all the way through. Per season, and I could tell you with a patient like right away, and there's really no mystery for me anymore. Just be liking. Had a doctor, and they, you know, solved. They were both addicts. One opiate, whereas Sherlock Holmes was an opiate. So a lot of similarities between the two. That's I sent you a video through Messenger, Intellectual says. Yeah, I'll check that out, dude. The trilogy, Lord of the Rings, and the Hobbit. Greg, have you ever seen the new show that's on Amazon Prime, which is Rings of Power? It's basically the origins of the rings, of all of the rings, for all of the races, and the One Ring. It's a TV show that's got a couple seasons out. Winter season, use my DC to DC charger. Lack of sun, rest my switches, holds 13.9, was 13.4. Dude, you gotta check out the Southwest in the winter, man. Because there's no lack of sun out there all winter long. Just sunny, sunny, sunny. Oh, you have seen it. It's not that great, but yeah. Yeah, I watched the first season. But I haven't watched the second season yet. I'm glad this is working through my GoPro. I can finally show you guys how my camera, you guys, this is why, by the way, I haven't been doing too many videos, is because my phone, the lenses on these cameras are they're just gone, literally gone. And it takes real crappy video. And then transferring everything to the GoPro to the phone becomes this huge hassle. So it's a bit of a struggle, and I don't have my laptop right now. It's at my friend's house up in his attic. Actually, is that true? I think I might have it. I just don't pull it out very often. I can wirelessly transfer everything from the GoPro to the phone where I edit. But it's just so much easier if something's happening to pull my phone out and boom, start filming, instead of like getting the GoPro ready, turning it on, and all that stuff. It's just way easier sometimes to pull out the phone, and I haven't been able to do that in so long. My other phone got ran over at Country Thunder, and I'm still paying on it. It's just a $250 deductible for me to get a new one. So I'm using my other phone, my backup phone, and this happened to the camera. So I'm kind of like fighting phone camera problems. But if I could get $250 like of money that I can just throw towards the deductible on the insurance, because I'm paying for the insurance, then I could get a new phone and I could start filming quite often again. But maybe I could just get in the habit of using the GoPro too. I do have it for a reason. You hear Beetlejuice 2 sucks. Well, of course it does. It's just, that's just some memberberry bullshit. That's all it is. I remember Calrissian. I remember. You remember Jedi's? Ooh, I remember. That's all it is, man. Just scratching at your like nostalgia. So they try to. I actually just the other day watched the first Beetlejuice. And yeah, they're just scratching at your nostalgia, dude. Southwest rules, but I want to do east, Greg says. What are you gonna do, like the southwest or the southeast and like Florida and the Keys and stuff? The only advice I'll give you is be very, very, very careful in the Keys. Like, that's the only place in the country where I would actually just pay for camping. And here's why. When I was at Key West, I had gotten my first van. It was a minivan, just like this one. I drove out to the Keys. My mom lived in Homestead, which is in the southern tip of Florida. When you get onto the bridges to drive out to the Keys, it's Homestead that you drive through. And so we went out to the Keys, and it's like a 3-hour drive to get to Key West. Got to Key West, stayed the night. Stayed a couple of nights before I got caught, but got the knock from this cop. And not only did he arrest me, but he took me to jail and impounded my van. I got released the next day without any charges, and I had to go spend a couple of grand to get my van out of impound. So apparently it's an arrestable offense to sleep in your vehicle in the Keys. So if you're gonna go to the Keys, just be careful. They really do be hating us homeless people, which I can see why. I mean, I don't see why they would arrest you. I actually hated that. I thought that was absolute bullshit. But if you were allowed to do it there, like that's all that would be there. It's like the perfect weather year round. It's a magical place. That's why it's expensive, and it's all those rich folks that live there. But one of the best sunsets I ever saw was right there at Key West also. It was phenomenal. I got pictures of it somewhere. Top Gun 3 in the works. Oh, good. How many times can we kill Goose and then talk about it? Use Your Voices says, I'm not wasting my money on any more shitty remakes from Hollywood. That's fair. Happy Gilmore 2 is really happening. Scratch my head. Jesus Christ. Yeah, like, I don't waste my money on too very much media. I just download everything, like torrent it. I did it illegally, and then I have a terabyte hard drive of movies and TV shows. I've even created my own like Netflix. I call it Zig Flix, but I've got my own that I have in the van. It runs off of my mini PC. So yeah, I've already got a library of stuff, and if I want to add to it, I can just add to it. And Zig Flix is actually this It's like menu based, just like Netflix or Amazon Prime. It brings up the movie, it's got the picture there, and it gives you a synopsis of the movie, and you can separate it by genres. Gives you the all the metadata. So you can do Pirates Cove Key. You gotta be in the mangroves. Yeah, dude, I'm just saying, I would be very careful. I haven't gone back to the Keys since, so I bet there are places that you totally could van life and get away with it for a little bit. But I'll never risk it again. I won't van life there. I'll just pay for a campground if I ever go back. Alicia says you can't park in the Keys at all. They will impound you. That shit happened to me. It's like my first year van lifing. Yeah, that sucked. But the jail was kind of bougie, I'll be honest. I mean, I was just in the drunk tank or whatever, like a holding cell until morning, and then they released me with no charges, but I still had to pay all that money to get my van out of the impound. Like, it was just essentially like highway robbery, like literally highway robbery. But Bahia Honda State Park is expensive but amazing. Or Hip Camp. Ocala National Forest is better. Yeah, lots of home bums in the Keys. That's true. It's so sad how they treat van lifers. It's not just van lifers, it's just homeless people. That's how they treat homeless people. Because the people that have the money don't want to see it, right? Like, it's not in my backyard. And the people, a lot of times, the people who are homeless have mental health issues or drug addiction issues. So, there's that whole aspect of it too. And I don't blame them. I kind of don't blame them. Not every homeless person is gonna give a shit about you. The housies, people in housies, oftentimes treat homeless people so bad. Homeless people don't have any fucking reason to be nice to them. They're gonna be homeless guy. Well, they might, but if they're gonna be robbing someone, trying to get the maximum, if they're gonna be doing rude things, they're just gonna associate housies, just like housies associate homeless people with problems. It's the same thing, vice versa. Just cultures clashing. I'm also sad about Grants Pass. What the fuck? You can't just erase people. No, but you can move people. You can move people. They do it all the time. I mean, the power, the authority, and the guns. They can do whatever they want until we start telling them no. It can't just be a couple of people telling you it's no. But until that happens, they do whatever the fuck they want. It's basically all government, right? It doesn't matter what kind of government we have. It doesn't. Whether it's communist, socialist, capitalist, doesn't really matter. The only thing that matters is that they do just enough so that the people don't revolt. The longer they do just enough so that the people don't revolt, the longer they do that, the more successful that government is. Because that's how we measure the success of a government. How long has this country been around? So, there's other metrics. You can measure economics or financial security or food security or housing. But primarily, that government's still in authority. So long as the people don't revolt. And the longer that happens, the more successful they are. It doesn't matter, even a dictatorship or an oligarch. It's all the same. It doesn't matter what kind it is. And that's what they're doing to us. They're doing just enough that we don't revolt. So they can do whatever they want until we all say no. They treat them so bad, they do it all over, man. Yeah, I usually get... my interactions with police are typically... eye-opening. You know what I mean? My last interaction with police, I was in Prescott, Arizona, on the way up here, on the way to Reno, and got the knock in the morning, and as soon as I opened the door, and I'm like wiping sleepies off my eyes, that's how I woke up, was this fucking cop knocking on my van, Zag barking, so I can't just pretend like I'm not here. So I opened the door, and the cop's like, "Hi, I'm so-and-so with the police department, blah, 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 just knocking to make sure you're okay." And I was like, I'm okay. I'm fine. He's like, "I'm getting the odor of chemicals." And he said chemicals, and immediately I was like, chemicals? And I kind of looked around like, what the fuck chemicals would he be smelling? And then I realized what he's trying to accuse me of. And I was like, chemicals? No, you don't smell chemicals. Like, I've got weed in here, dude. That's all I've got. I'm like, I don't fucking do drugs. And he's like, "Oh, sometimes when you burn it, it smells like chemicals." And I was like, does it? And anyways, he asked me for my ID, and I'm like, "Listen, I know I haven't done anything wrong. I haven't committed a crime. So I don't have to give you my ID, but I'm going to, just to get this over with, because you just woke me up. But I want you to know, I'm aware I don't have to." And I gave him my ID, and he ran my name, and then he FO'd. But that's how they immediately, if you're homeless, so you can see that you're sleeping in your vehicle, immediately you're probably on drugs, or there's something wrong with you. And sometimes that's very true, and the cop could have gotten a quick felony arrest or some dumb shit like that. So in any case, like, that's immediately how they treat you. Almost every time I've interacted with them and they see that I live in my van, they're just like, it's why I prefer RVs, be honest. Like, I would prefer an RV over a van sometimes, because they see you camping in a van, they're like, "Oh, there goes like a drug addict." But if they see you in an RV, they're like, "Oh, they might have a house they parked that at," or whatever. Like, they don't. No, I at least try not to like appear homeless. I at least try to like still, get haircuts as often as I think about it, and shave my face and whatever. Like, I don't try to like appear homeless. But yeah, chemicals, Spicoli. He's like, I seem to be smelling some chemicals. And I was like, chemicals? And I was super confused, like looking around like, did I clean something with I don't know. And then I was like, wait, no you don't. Like, immediately was like, no you don't. I've got weed in here, but no chemicals. You don't do drugs. Crossline now, new program, 4,000. I think you meant 400 grand to illegal aliens to leave now. While let our veterans on the streets. Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't think anyone should be on the streets in the richest country in America, including undocumented people. I mean, I know that the border right now is a pretty contentious subject, so I'm not going to get too much into it. But before this, veterans were on the streets. After the border crisis, veterans will be on the streets. Like, let's stop pretending that people give a shit about veterans. Like, let's just stop using them as political fodder, too. Like, comparing veterans to immigrants is insane. That's insane. We're human beings. All of us. Every single fucking person on the streets is a human being, whether they're a veteran or not. And just because someone's a veteran doesn't mean they deserve a house. So, sorry, not sorry. But the reality is, like, no one gives a shit about veterans. Or this wouldn't, like, that wouldn't be the constant, like, comparison, right? Like, wow, why aren't veterans getting what they need? Why aren't veterans getting what they need? And then it's a constant conversation that nobody does anything about, except just sometimes bring it up, especially when comparing it to some other issue that's going on, or some other people that are getting like some sort of benefit. But But no one gives a shit about veterans. Well, first of all, active duty military represents less than 1% of the U.S. population. Less than 1%. That is tiny. The U.S. military is a tiny fraction of how many people we have in our country. And the veterans themselves and circle, their immediate circle, like which means like family, friends, the people that are affected by the veterans in their life represent about 5% of the population. So yes, they probably do and are entitled to, we should be giving veterans more than what they're getting, but there isn't enough of them to make a big enough stink for anyone to give a shit. 5%, and that includes families, friends. 5% of the population would represent veterans, like when they're talking about lobbying and stuff like that. So it's pretty much like just the tiniest little voice with the most amount of sympathy out there because of how much we sacrificed. And yeah, I'm just getting kind of over it, like everyone bringing up, but you know, veterans when they're talking about other things, but when it comes down to it, no one actually does shit about it. Like, no one's actually helping veterans. No one's lobbying government for veterans. There are a couple of veteran organizations out there, VFW, American Legion. They do some lobbying for veterans to their government, but that's it. Lobbying power is not. Their donations and dwindled, and their membership levels have dwindled. A bar, but that's about it, man. Like, no one actually fucking cares about veterans. They don't. They're just grateful for them. Sorry, that just got me going. I had patchouli oil everywhere in my car. Wait, hold on. I got pulled over 11:30 p.m. and cops started asking questions about the smell in my car, and it was like 20 questions with him. And then he finally said, "Do you have patchouli?" I had patchouli oil everywhere in my car. You got pulled over and he didn't know what the chemical smell was? You had to, I get it. He had to, like, y'all had to figure out what the smell was. Should have told the cop, "No, man, it's my Taco Bell backing up." Greg says, "I'm a vet." Not all veterans are living. Never forget. No, man, like 22 a day. I've lost a lot of friends, man. Like, a lot of people that I served with that eventually, like, you know, we've had 5 suicides since I came home that I can think of. And a few other just total accidental deaths. One of them was working on his car and it slipped off of the jacks and crushed him. Another guy was at his bachelor party riding a quad kind of at dusk and hit a wire fence, and that killed him. We've had a few just random ass, some we don't even know what happened. They just went to sleep and didn't wake up, and there was no autopsy done because there was no foul play or whatever. They just assumed it was, you know, this or that, but it's just, yeah, weird world. Oh yeah, and then obviously the ones that died overseas. Oh, he thought the patchouli was weed. That's funny. My pregnant friend passenger was insulted the cop knew what patchouli was. He's probably arrested a few hippies in his day. Patchouli. I be knowing some people that be putting on too much patchouli. I know other people that put on just enough. Sometimes people be putting on patchouli and then they just smell like BO and patchouli. It doesn't always help. I'm moving to Louisiana. Louisiana. Let my dog live last year's out in comfort. I'll probably have to do that with Zag at some point, Greg. Zag will have to. And love Babylon. Really loves Babylon. When I'm visiting friends of mine here in town, like, she is just a queen in that house. She's just like on this soft couch all the time, or hanging out on the bed, and in order to keep her fur from getting everywhere, they put a blanket out for her on the bed and the couch, so she gets to hang out on this padded blanket on top of a padded bed. She's just like an absolute spoiled princess. And I think she really likes it. Like, I think she really likes Babylon. But I think after she spent some time in Babylon, she would probably prefer to be out on the road again. But she'll have to retire somewhere to make things just, you know, a little easier on her. But I think we got a lot of time left. You know, how old is she? She's like 7 or 8. Come on, good girl. Oh, you're just a middle-aged dog. Just a middle-aged dog. She's totally fucking... I just woke her up. Patchouli is nasty, Greg says. Nag Champa oil is superior to patchouli. I don't know what that is, but I'll take your word for it. Nag Champa. I just use deodorant. Like, I just use deodorant and fucking soap. That works for me just fine. Even out here homeless. Deodorant, soap, shampoo, and baby wipes. Toothbrush, toothpaste. And I've got some flossers. That's like my hygiene kit. Egyptian goddess is my favorite smell. What in the fuck is that? Is that a smell or is that a person? I'll be smelling some Egyptian goddesses. I only buy quality oils. I love that smell. Nag Champa. Never. Too many more years to come for Zag. Cheers. Yeah, thankfully, like, little dogs do be living longer. They live a long time. So she can have another 10 years in her. She can outlive us all, you guys. Yeah, Greg says jug showers. I be doing some bird baths. Yeah, I've definitely, after a couple of, 2-3 days or more, bird bath is just like, oh, I needed this so bad. It's just the most wonderful feeling. Oh, I use soap and deodorant. I'm not trying to funk up the place. Get funky. I can't believe those songs were telling us to smell bad. Like, do the funky funk. Do the funky funk. I want you, Nag Champa incense, also cedar oil, smells like a forest. Am I pronouncing that right? Nag Champa? I love RVs. RV files. Yeah, there's like benefits to each one. So here, I've traveled a bunch of different ways now. I've had a minivan, I've had a Honda Civic, I have had a 40-foot diesel pusher, I've had a 30-foot gas RV, and I've had a pickup and a trailer, and I've had a Class B RV, and now I'm back into a minivan. And each one has its benefits and its drawbacks, and its price tag. So far for me, the cheapest one has been the cheapest cost to, like, the minivan is actually like been the cheapest for me. The one I liked the most, I think, might have been the 40-foot diesel pusher, but I just couldn't afford it. So if I could afford it, a diesel pusher, like a giant one with a tow behind, would be my preferred choice to travel. Spicoli says, amen, I love getting clean. You better wash your ass. If you must, you gotta brush your teeth. If you must, or else you be funky. Yeah, I know Dell. I know Dell. No one knows Dell. Mr. Dabalina, Mr. Bob Dabalina. Mr. Bob Dabalina, Mr. Bob Dabalina. Mr. Bob Dabalina. Oh, it's a soft A. Like a Canadian would say, A. Going in Jeep. Be back. Greg, are you in a Jeep? I know people who traveled in Jeeps. Nog Champa. Nog Champa. Pinky's out. Hey, don't forget, you guys could sponsor a gallon of gas. I know we're just hanging out. But you could. You could totally sponsor a gallon of gas or a meal for Zig. All my links. Actually, I'll post them right now. Here, let me just do this. Let's do this. Hold on. I can actually interact with the chat because my phone isn't doing the live streaming. Check this out. Boom. Boom. Look at that. Look what I did. Isn't that cool? That's cool. That link tree right there is also, should have links to, let me look actually, now that I'm using my phone. Should have links to my Facebook. Yeah, it does. It does have links to my Facebook. It has links to my Amazon wish list, my merch store. Let me see if it's the right merch store. Yeah, it's the right merch store. My Cashapp, my PayPal, my Venmo. It used to have a tip jar. And it disappeared. I don't know what happened. I've been trying to fix it, and I don't exactly know. I think I lost the use of the tip jar because it just wasn't getting used enough or something. I'm not sure, but the tip jar just vanished. And I've gone into the settings, and I've tried to figure it out, and I couldn't. But yeah, there's my links. You can find all my socials. I have a 22-foot Class C RV. I haven't had a Class C yet, but I have had a Class B with the cab over. It's a 2000 Chevy 3500 Coachman Catalina Sport. Only 58,000 miles on it. That's pretty sick. That's like that's pretty good size. Like, that's almost perfect for me. Does it have the bed in the back also, or is it only the cab over? Because I don't know if I ever want to do a cab over again. I can't tell you how many times I woke up in a startle and just smacked my face on the fucking roof. Got a little bit of water left too, but that'll be the next thing that sends me into town. The next resource I run out of that'll send me into town is gonna be me having to get more water. In fact, there was free water up in the hill, and there's not that. Like, here's my catch-22. There's more resources up there, up on the hill in the woods, but less sun. And getting a solar charge was a real struggle up there. And I need the sun because it runs my refrigerator. So, I mean, meh. YouTube took 30% tip jar. I didn't know that my tip jar was on that link tree, and it went straight to my PayPal. It had nothing to do with YouTube. High top van or pickup camper setup. That's a... So I've had the pickup and a 28-foot travel trailer. And I've had the high top van before. I like having more space, to be completely honest with you. I like having more space. If I had to pick between the two, like if money wasn't an issue, I would take the truck and trailer. Because like it's got, you know, more space, and it has everything a house has. You can do a van that has everything a house has, but some of your, you're gonna have to get kind of creative on how you're gonna throw a shower in there and all that stuff. But a trailer, you know, it's got everything. It's got a dining table, usually couch, bed, bathroom, kitchen, sink, refrigerator, freezer. Like, it's pretty much all of it. So if it was me, I would pick that. Cab over next time we're at Helmet, Zig. Yep, I definitely bonked my head a few times. But I also wake up like sometimes in a startle, because that's actually my #1 symptom of PTSD is having night terrors. So actually that might not be the #1 symptom, but that is a symptom. I wake up in a startle sometimes. Only cab over, I sleep on the jackknife couch with a new mattress on it. I took the booth out for more room. Yeah, I feel that. The overhead is used for storage. I'm too fat to get on the upper bunk. That's funny. Alright, you guys got me for another 4 minutes. And then I'm going to take off. It's kind of nice being able to use my phone. Honestly, it's kind of nice being able to use my phone while I live stream. Usually this is the thing that I'm like live streaming from and reading the chat off of. And I suspect my chat's a little delayed, so it's taking me a while to read your comments. But yeah, maybe I do be liking this though. And this is all running off my hotspot, and I didn't know how this was gonna work. This is the first time I've tried it, and it seems to be working okay. So I think maybe I'm gonna start live streaming like this. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, brother. Well, smoking on some roaches. So gas, weed, and food is what I'm gonna be spending my money on until payday. And probably not weed. I'm probably gonna be out of weed until I get, you know, enough money to cover gas and food. So I am gonna take the last couple of minutes to just show you where I'm camped at. And you can kind of see what's going on. Usually I just pulled back up into camp. Usually the tent is actually attached to the back of the van and the back hatch is open. But I just pulled up here and then started live streaming, so it's currently not like that. But I'm out here in the desert. This is it. I gotta kind of stay close to the van. But yeah, usually this is attached. It's got like an attachment to a hatchback. But I'm out here in the high desert, you guys. This is just juniper trees. Dave was just blown away by how big they are. Because where he's from, they call them juniper bushes. But here in Oregon, we got juniper trees, not bushes. They're as big as pines. Yeah, this is camp. Dave and AJ were camped here with me, but they took off for bigger and better things. This is where they were camped. And now it's just Zag and I left. And then there was two. But I appreciate all you guys being here. I'm gonna go ahead and take off. Thanks for hanging out with me, my fellow road dogs. And dude, I heard like weird noises earlier, like a whole bunch of crazy noises, and I come outside and there's just like this giant flock of Canadian geese flying overhead. And there's this pond right nearby, and they all landed in that pond. And the whole time I'm thinking, damn, I wish my camera on my phone worked, because I'd be able to film that. That would have been a cool shot. But I can hear them right now. There's a little canal running right next to me that they're probably hanging out in. Anyways, until next time, you guys.